Hey, what's going on?
How's
Facebook.
everybody doing?
What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well.
Let me get that water right there.
So Dexter and Dr. Tanya here. We're checking
Good
in
evening.
on a late evening here. Well, it's just 10 o'clock. It's not really late, but an evening here on the East Coast in the state of North Carolina. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Tanya and I were talking. We said, hey, we hadn't been live together in a while, just kind of discussing some things. So we figured we would come on and holler at you guys, see what's going on.
How's everybody doing this evening? Look, I was going to say good to see you.
We don't see anybody.
But I can't really see you, but I could see you commenting,
Yeah.
but it's good to see you. Nice to spend some time on tonight. Just going to do some briefing, right?
Yeah. We'll do a quick overview of some things. So we titled this. What Tanya and I are doing is we are rebranding our podcast. So Tanya and I have been podcasting, not seriously. I really want to say that since 2017. Right, we came up with the show. Upgrade Your Life in
I didn't
2017.
even realize since 2017.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So we haven't been going live. Well, we haven't really been taking the show seriously. Meaning we did it on a kind of a part-time basis, and
I agree.
yeah. So, but it was really cool. We had some great guests on it. So the name of it was Upgrade Your Life, and we were looking at our show, and we actually were dropping content every 2 weeks. And we did it for a stretch. But what was going on is we were on the radio station for a while, and that was a very aggressive schedule to get in.
It was.
Extremely aggressive to get in our shows.
Very much so.
And we would take those shows and kind of put them on our podcast. So it worked really well, but we got burned out.
So much going on in our life,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
how it is. So many things that we're doing.
Yeah.
And it felt really good, but hey, after a while it was like we can't keep doing this right now.
Right.
We need to take care of ourselves. We need to
Yeah.
handle some business, okay?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we burned out.
Made some changes.
Yeah, we burned out, made some changes.
Made some changes.
Then we came back and said, okay, Upgrade Your Life is cool. But we were like, man, how can we really change the brand
Right.
to hit on like everything that we do?
Mm-hmm.
So we changed the name to The Upgrade. So if you go to any of our any of the podcast networks, I think we're actually on like 11 of them. You'll see The Upgrade with Dexter and Dr. Tanya. So the name has been changed. Now we're changing all of our graphics. So our graphics team has our stuff. Get some stuff up a little
I
bit.
haven't done a photo shoot in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So we're introducing The Upgrade with Dexter and Dr. Tanya. So that feels better too. I think Upgrade Your Life is great, but I think The Upgrade feels better.
It is because it's what's happening. It's the upgrade.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I can say, Dex, I really feel like for me and you, what we want to see, and we say it all the time, we want to see you living your best life.
Yeah.
And there is things to do. We upgrade so much in our lives, but let's make it personal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about ourselves. Let's think about our health. Let's think about our relationships
That's
as
good.
well.
Yeah.
Let's think about just so much I can say, but as it relates to our lives, how can we make it better? How can we bring about an upgrade? Even today, we were on one of our business calls with our direct sales company, and we were on with the actual company.
Mm-hmm.
It was freezing. Okay, we were on with the actual company, and I listened to them, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna do an upgrade here," and I just smiled, and I was like, "Boy, people use that a lot," and when they do, I get
Yeah. Because
excited.
it's
Because it's who we are.
Yeah,
It's who we are. So definitely, we're looking to it. It is the upgrade. And you heard me say relationships. We just did something. We started a series.
Yeah.
And the series that we're going to be talking about is dealing in marriage. And I'm going to tell you, Dex, I've said it a lot. A lot of people have come to us and wanted to talk to us about our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because we go live about it, we're not posting about it, but we are married and it's seen by just experiencing
Right,
us.
right,
And a lot
yeah.
of people will want to know, tell me about your marriage. How do you do this? We've had people to get in contact with us before too with questions. Some people, I've had someone that even messaged me because within their own marriage, they were just like, I need to get some advice from you.
yeah.
And that has also happened. So we decided to do a marriage series, and we wanted to just talk to different couples to give us information about what it is that they have done, what are they doing to actually build a strong marriage. What has it been like? You know what I mean? And so they met with us, and it happened, and it actually went live yesterday. Y'all, it was so good. Live on our podcast, okay? This morning. Oh, this morning.
It went live this
That's
morning.
right, 5 o'clock a.m. It feels like yesterday to me.
It does.
But at 5 o'clock a.m., but y'all, it's so good. The information that they dropped, the conversation, to the point where I'm like, I got to talk to them again. I need to talk to them again.
Yeah.
I really do. If you have not had an opportunity, we would love for you to. It's so good. And get your feedback. I want to hear from you. What do you think about what it is that you even hear, what you've heard, and share it with other people. But I'm telling you, it's going to be something that's going to help all of us. If you're looking to get married.
Marriage series. So, and Tanya and I, you were talking about that. We're actually in a book called With This Ring. Right. So Tanya and I have co-authored a book. We've got a piece in a book called With This Ring. So we're talking about our marriage, but it's interesting. We don't talk about it, but we talk about it. So we've actually spoken on stage at Dr. Jennifer Harris's event. We talked about our marriage. We call it the marriage paradigm. And that was really good. I think that's the name of what we talked about, the marriage paradigm. It was really cool. But y'all, our guests. So the show, like Tanya mentioned, the show came out this morning with Avery and LaShawn Williams. And it was powerful, you all. And we're telling you, go watch it. As a matter of fact, I'll put the link in the comment section. As a matter of fact, I'll put the link in the comment section while we're talking now. Go listen to it. It's about 30 minutes long, but y'all, I'm telling you, we didn't even get into 2 questions. Because 37 years of marriage.
37 years.
Dropping some amazing information about how they came together.
5 children.
This is great. And we believe that this is going to be the anchor for some things. Not that we're planning it, but it's almost like, okay, this is the direction we need to go in. So we're going to be potentially reaching out to some couples to have them on the podcast also, see if they're interested in doing that. And just doing a marriage series that'll be ongoing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had some people reach out to me. You guys know I have Conversation Camp. My next camp is coming up. Women, come on, ladies. You know, it's an intimate setting. I'll come back and talk about this some more soon. But I've had someone to specifically ask me about doing one for couples.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to do that. So when we do it, if for couples, we want you here. Okay, it's going to be beautiful, and we'll talk about that some more too when we actually get it together. Where I'm going to have it located, I don't know yet. I'm looking at Kill Devil Hills. I'll let you know. But that's what we're looking at for the marriage couples, to do our own conversation camp, coming together intimately, having speakers, but being able to have conversations that could help us as couples to really build and be strong and survive and thrive and all of those wonderful things. So it means something to us. So being able to talk with Avery and LaShawn Williamson this past weekend, it was wonderful. And like you said, Dexter, they've been married for 37 years, but the wisdom that they actually bring, what it is that they talk about, very transparent, sharing things with us, and then helping us to even think. I remember having a question for them because I'm like, I keep hearing you talk. Did that come out in this one?
Yeah, they talked about idols.
Yeah, and it made me ask them, talk to us a little bit more about this. And the reason why is because I kept hearing them share different things. And I'm like, what do you mean by idols? You've got to hear that. And when they explained it as a married couple, and I love how Avery talked about even the songs we listen to, different things that are out here would have us to actually feel like it's okay to be a particular way in emotion, in feeling now, because I'm married. But from a spiritual perspective, they had us to see it differently, which I'm telling you brings us to the place of where each one of us takes on our own personal responsibility in the marriage, in the relationship, but ultimately as a child of God. It changes everything. And I'm like, that is so good.
It is.
It was good. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Listen, just listen in and make sure you catch next week too.
And it's that now. Yeah.
Make
As
sure
a
you
matter of
catch
fact,
next week
what
too.
Tanya's talking about is in next week's episode. So
Oh, see, that's why I was asking you. I'm like,
no,
did it
no,
come out
no,
now?
they mentioned it.
Did it come
They
out?
mentioned some of it,
Okay.
but you guys bookmark next every Wednesday morning. Our show goes live at 5 a.m. So we chose 5 a.m. We thought it was a great time. People are on their way to work. They might be getting ready for work. Whatever, you can listen to it. Put it in put it in your ears, earpods, whatever, and just
Yeah.
check it out. But next Wednesday at 5, it's going to be part 2 of our interview with them. It's really good. So make sure you. I don't know why this thing keeps freezing a little for some reason.
I
I
don't
think
know
it's the
if it
weather.
just-
It is.
yeah,
It is
it's
raining and stuff
storming
outside.
here,
So
so.
that might be it. But yeah, make sure you check it out. So I put the link in the comment section. Go and listen to the
see
show
what
that
it
was
looks
released
like.
this morning. Next week is going to be part 2. And we're going to have them back because it's such amazing information. And as Tanya mentioned, you know what? As a matter of fact, you guys that are watching now, you might be watching later. We are considering a conversation camp for couples. It's going to be powerful.
Would you want it?
Would you want that?
Would you want
Yeah,
that?
because we only want to do things that we feel like people are going to really gravitate towards. So if you're married, I don't care if it's 1 year, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, would you be interested in coming to a conversation camp for couples? Because that will be something that Tanya and I will put on. We'll put it together. Tanya has had several successful conversation camps for women. It's been phenomenal. And we're actually considering that. We think it's time because
Hey, Tremaine.
couples need it, y'all. Wouldn't you, and I know that different churches have retreats and those kinds of things. They have couples speak. This is going to be different. It's going to be similar, but it's going to be different because imagine sitting down with your spouse, and I'm thinking about the feel of conversation camp for women. You're sitting with your spouse, and no topics are off the table because you're actually being talked to from couples that are going to be sharing from their experiences. It's amazing. And, we just wanted to start with some fresh content, bringing you guys some things that we believe that will upgrade your life. That's the whole purpose of what we do. It's the upgrading everything as it relates to your life, personal, professional development, all those kinds of things. But we think it's going to be great for you.
Yeah, let's do that. It means a lot to us. So, just stay connected and wanted to let you know what we're doing. There's so much we can talk about right now, even just with the different things that we're doing. Because with us even mentioning conversation camp, it just took me in. I had a visual of it. And then I began to think about doing it for couples, Dexter. And I'm like, man, how will this go? And in this moment, I just heard from the Lord, and it was like, I got you. and I just began to calm myself down a little bit because I'm thinking like, how in the world would that be? What would it be? And I'm like, God says I have it. He'll take care of it. The flow of it, what will happen, letting us know what speakers to have present. To see the thing about conversation camp. So now all my sisters out here, if you've never been before, if you've been thinking about it, here's the thing. With conversation camp, it is an intimate setting. What do I mean by that? We're actually now, the first 2 we did here in my home. I had it right here at my own house, and it was phenomenal. Now we've been doing it at a lakefront property in Charlotte, outside of Charlotte. So it's been in a home at Lake Norman, and it's beautiful. Always having something where we're able to come there and be together. I have about 25 women on average that I allow to register. Depending on the space and what it is that we're going to be doing. And they come, but you're able to come, and it's a safe place. It's a safe environment. It's a place where you can actually, I don't know, things will come out, and you would not believe the types of things that people would even begin to share. But even prophetically, Holy Spirit speaks, the Lord speaks, and things come forth. We have the speakers. The speakers will come, whatever it is that God would have for them to actually share with everyone that's present. And so much comes up, comes out. There's transitions that takes place just within. I mean, it's powerful. Deliverance, healings, emotions emotionally, especially happens so often. And then just growing closer to the Lord ourselves. But I'm like, come on in, take your shoes off, grab you some footage,
Get relaxed, yeah.
You sit down, some on the floor, some maybe on the couch. I mean, you could get up under a blanket even if that's how you feel, but you're listening, you're hearing, you're growing, and you're able to talk, you're able to share, you can ask questions. My thing has always been, is one thing, I can go to a conference, and when I go to this conference, and I hear this incredible speaker, is wonderful, but I don't have access. Here you have access.
Right.
So here's the speaker. Here's where the word is coming from. I'm able to listen to her, but I'm also able to touch her. I'm able to ask her questions. I'm able to get clarifications on things. I'm able to share. You see what I mean? And then if the Lord has word for you, it will come. But here's the other thing that I love about being at camp is simply, I'm here. I may not be a speaker, but because you just shared something, I can relate to you. And I may have a word. I may can tell you something that has helped me. So we're there to help and talk with each other and just help each other to just build and heal. And we're there as sisters. It's just a beautiful thing. It's so much I can say. Have a private chef. So there's a chef that's there privately that will come and he cooks for us, and we have the meals. It's so much. I have gifts for you. You're going to walk away with gifts as well. Just doing so much for you. So that's me right now. So if I do this for couples, how could it be? What questions could we possibly have as a couple? What thing could I have actually gone through or done that I feel safe enough that I will actually share? And I'll be honest with you, what helps us to be able to do that in camp are the speakers.
Exactly, yeah.
Very
That's
transparent,
really
the things that they would share and talk about, but then even what the Lord has given unto them to share, it goes deep, which is why I remember, I'll put hers, a testimony I have from a young lady, Tahira Ogletree is her name, but Tahira did a testimony, and I remember hearing one where she talked about how she says, I'm here at camp, but it's like I've learned things and come to understand things even better, even more as it relates to the Lord. She says, it's like, I know it's there. I know he's there. I know there's more. But it's like she finally made this connection where she was like, oh my goodness, it's like that.
Yeah.
Can I say this to you? I can, something that's going to even happen this year where we'll learn even more about fragrances and aromas that we can smell. But spiritually, do you understand that? To be able to be there with an apostle who actually hears from God, who gives her instructions as to what types of sprays and aromas and fragrances and everything to pull together and to when to use it and what it means and how some of those things even, it's stuff like that. You know what I mean? To take it deep. It's so much. It's hard. I'm trying to think of even what to say, but Dexter, honestly, I'm like, I really feel like I can't even do it justice.
Yeah, I just think it's powerful.
I can't even do it justice.
Yeah. No, it's powerful because
anyway.
with Tanya, when God gave Tanya this idea, and she's providing, really think about it, she's providing, I've watched you provide a platform for women to come, but I'm telling you, that connection that you get with the speakers,
it's amazing.
it is, but you can't get it anywhere else. If you go and pay for a conference and to see the person up on the stage, it might be 500, 1,000 people in the audience. You won't get to that speaker. It just doesn't happen.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. It's powerful. You provided that platform for it. That's why we have to really begin to honor the relationships that we have in our lives, because it opens up areas up. It opens up other areas that we haven't even thought about yet. So that's why the preservation of relationships are so important, because you'll never know where your next connection is. It could be the person that's talking to you. It could be the person that's right beside you. It could be the person that right now you're watching us on Tanya's Facebook page. It's going to share to mine. But it could be the connection that you need for your next. And I actually made a post, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I said, be careful criticizing what you don't understand.
That was so good.
Because you will never...
I love that.
Because the playing field
love that.
might change.
That's so true.
And you will have to learn how to adapt on that playing field. That's y'all bars. It really is because we criticize what we don't understand. And the moment we start criticizing stuff, we may find ourselves in another position in life where now that playing field I have to be on. So I've got to adapt to that playing
I
field.
hope
And
you're understanding
the
this
very
too.
person
Really
or the
do.
behaviors that I
It's
criticize
good.
at one point now have to become a part of my life. So we just have to be we have to be very critical with that. But that's what conversation camps do. So we,
Yeah, and I see Apostle Rain. I looked down and I saw her name. So
yeah,
she's
we just,
definitely, she'll be with me again this year. Absolutely amazing.
yeah,
Her story alone, even, things that she's actually shared, things that she's experienced and gone through. But then to see her and to see her uh, as the incredible, phenomenal woman that she is. And then just her relationship with the Lord, how he speaks to her and uses her, but she hears with such depthness, and then we're there, and then can take us through the pages of his word, giving us understanding that only makes us better and draws us even closer to our Father. Is powerful.
yeah.
So she's here. She can talk to you too, give you even some examples or what can I say, Apostle Rain? Just telling them what it's like, what it's been like for you. Even we're there as speakers, but we also experience what the campers experience too. Every single last one of us. So it's amazing.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
amazing. I hope you get to come.
I did.
I
Yeah.
hope you get to come.
Yeah. So I mean, we're really excited, you guys. And so listen, as we mentioned, starting out, we're changing the name of our podcast from Upgrade Your Life to The Upgrade. And fresh direction, fresh experiences. What we're going to do is we're planning to drop episodes every week, right? Every week as we move forward, we're figuring out, we're rebranding, restructuring some things. So we just want to be able to bring stuff to you that's going to affect your life, right? So
Make it better.
hence the upgrade. So
The upgrade.
yeah, so I think we're good, y'all. We didn't want to keep you
upgrade.
long, and it's still storming outside. So I've seen that it's kind of glitched a couple of times while we've been online. So we're gonna go ahead and get off. But hey, thank you all so much for watching us.
Did you
Thanks
hear
for
that
following
thunder
us.
just then?
Probably not. I know we can hear
Thundering.
it. But yeah, thanks for watching us all of these years, supporting our channel, supporting everything that we do. We Our whole thing is we hope that you are getting something out of what it is that we do, what we offer. Right, I think it's powerful. And, I'll share this last thing, Tanya. If you want to close, we'll close it out. There's um, Instagram that Will Smith did earlier. I shared it. I don't know if I shared it with you or not. It is phenomenal. There's a gentleman asking him, what makes Will Smith? What is it about Will Smith? He said, I tell you what. He said, I think he said, get quiet. Get quiet for 15 or 30 seconds. And then he stopped talking. And the guy, you could see the gentleman was very uncomfortable. He didn't know what to do. He said, now look at me for the next 15 or 30 seconds. But I want you to see yourself in me. And you could really see him get uncomfortable. And I was like, oh my God, this is really good. That's what Conversation Camp does. It allows you to see the greater connectivity of humanity that we all actually have. And you could see the guy really get uncomfortable. And he said, this is not easy. He said, exactly. He said, when you tap into that, then you begin to understand who you actually are. And it is the connectedness that we have. And a young lady, I made a comment on that post. A young lady asked me, I don't really understand. And I said, love thy neighbor as yourself. It's levels to that. So when I can look at you, you can look at me, I can look at Tanya, and I see Tanya, but then I begin to see me and Tanya. The levels start, it starts getting deeper. And that's why I'm telling you, you could see his agitation. He really couldn't get it. That's what we need to do. That's why things like Conversation Camp are needed.
Yeah.
Conversation Camp for women, I've thrown out for several years conversation camp for men. That's still something that's in my head. The Lord will bring it out when it's time. But conversation camp for couples, that's needed.
It's like a no judgment zone.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like a no judgment zone, but at the same time, we're there to help each other to
Yeah.
do better.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I
It's
mean?
good,
It's
Tony.
like it's no judgment, but it doesn't mean we don't deal with the things that's happening or what might be going on so that we can be better. But it's without judgment.
Mm-hmm. It's
You
good.
know,
It's good.
and you talk, you may share, you may be the more quiet. Who knows? I don't know. Be you. My point is, it's different.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
We're up close and personal, meaning we're there with each other. We walk in, it's the love, hey, get to know each other, connections are made. We walk away with new relationships that are being established. And that's not to say everybody's all with each other all the time. That's not it. But I can guarantee you this, they can see each other on social media now and there can be conversation, you know. If there's something that anybody has need of and they can think of somebody from camp that could possibly help them or they could talk to, they'll have those conversations. You know what I mean? So it's just different. It's like I said, I feel like I'm not really even doing it a lot of justice. But one of the things that I do know is that conversation camp is something that is God ordained. I was actually going to come and talk about this later. Why? It was some years ago. I was in Kansas City. We bring it to a close. I went to a conference, and it was a conference. It was like a prophetic conference, but it was one where we were going through being trained as well as getting the word and different things. It was like workshops throughout the day. Long story short, I went into one, and it was one where you would get connected with different people, but it was this one gentleman who was just sitting there with me, younger guy too. And he's just sitting there with me talking or what have you, but he looked at me and he said, you're called to, he said, I don't know, I'm seeing you with small groups. This is years ago.
I remember that.
And he was like,
Yeah.
you're with small groups. It's something with small, you're dealing with smaller groups or something. And I'm just like, okay, I have no understanding of this at all because people talking to you, but they will oftentimes you'll hear these big, massive things that you're gonna be doing, and I'm like, I'm with small groups, and I'm like, what does this
What
mean?
does that mean?
You never know. I even heard my sister speaking about it earlier. We were on a call this morning and talking about how this word that came forth between her and somebody else, them being her mentor, and it's happening now, though that word and her saying I was told to follow y'all came to them years ago, but now they see it actually happening. So what's my point? My thing is, it was spoken to me years ago, but that right there came back to my remembrance. I don't know, about like last year sometime. It wasn't long ago, but, and I thought, oh my God, that's the word I received, is that I'm going to be with small groups. So this is something that is God ordained. This is something that he's called for me to lead, you know, but it's him. It's his lead. I'm in partnership with him, you know, to do this conversation camps. And he shows up in advance. He's there releasing his angels to be present with us each and every time. And I can remember there has been women that they walked through the door and said, as soon as I crossed the threshold, it was like, it's something different about being here right now. So
yeah, we're really excited.
We're grateful. Yeah,
we are really excited about it.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So guys,
I'm
look,
so grateful.
Thank you so much for listening to us. We want to say have an amazing evening. Make sure you go and check out the podcast that was released this morning. I put the link in the group, so go click on it, check it out. Next week we'll be back for another episode. It'll air Wednesday morning, and look for some great content from us. So hey, we want to wish you all an amazing evening. We are Dexter and Dr. Tanya. And our tagline is, we are the upgraders. We may not know you,
but we know what's in you.
All right. We'll see you on the next broadcast.
Good night. Good night, everybody.